Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Jackson County Board of Supervisors meeting for Tuesday, December 26th of 2023. And we hope everyone had a joyous and happy Christmas and hope they have a safe trip home and everything is good. So we will start our meeting this morning with Jaden Seckel, our Assistant Jackson County Engineer. Good morning, Jaden.
Good morning. So first on the agenda is to award the 2024 clearing and grubbing project. So back, I'm sure Todd's been keeping you guys up to speed on that, but back in November, we received our bids for brush clearing four roads. I think you guys at one point had those plans of what roads were. But what I gave you this morning is the bid tab of the bids received that day. And per our contract, we had it worded so that we were allowed to either award any, all, or none. And, for example, say if one contractor was low bid on option one, but second contractor was lowest bidder on option two, we didn't have to award all the roads to one contractor. We could pick and choose, but, in this case, the lowest bidder was the lowest bidder for all four roads. And so we came up with, for the contract to award all four, and the total amount of $303,597. And I believe Todd said part of that would be paid out of this year's fiscal year budget. The remainder to be paid out of fiscal year 25's. So I did talk to the contractor, and his plan is whether any roads awarded, he was going to do it yet this winter. Like if we award all four, he would do all four this winter. So
If he can.
Weather permitting and whatnot, I suppose. Yeah, so this is interesting. I don't know if I noticed on the very first if it was, but the acres that are included. That's a fair amount of acres.
yeah, so how
And
we
we
came
did
up,
have a, kind of a brief work session after the meeting last week with Todd and suggesting about how to disperse. I mean, funds won't be dispersed even if half of it's done this fiscal year, we'll be dispersing and the rest of it, I mean, he won't get paid till after July, so.
so we have it worded in here in the contract that any work completed prior to July 1st, 2024 will be paid prior to July 1st, 2024, up to a maximum amount of 50% of the total awarded contract amount. So say you got $300,000 contract, basically 150,000 would get paid before July 1st, and the remainder wouldn't get paid till after, which as far as for the contractor goes, when he bid it, we had it that none of the work would get paid till after July 1st. So really, I mean, we just want to make sure he was good with it, assuming he would have been, because.
Could we put in that contract, and this is more for the auditor's sake or whatever, contract, the second half disbursement would be no earlier than like July 15th or something, or you guys, I just don't want it, like I say, the biggest fear I've heard is it shows up on July 2nd or whatever.
They'll be okay because they have a separate fund. So they'll be okay. It doesn't come out of the general fund. They have their own secondary road fund.
Okay.
So there's money there.
Okay.
So if you were to do that too, you'd probably want to be careful in case you wouldn't get all the work done either, obviously, that you're not paying ahead.
Right.
No,
Well, we
no.
certainly need to inspect, I mean, I had the opportunity to drive 3 of these roads and they're definitely in need.
I've driven all 4 of them, and I mean, there's some trees that are literally,
Yeah.
the bark is in the right of way almost. I mean, it's right up there, so.
And I'm sure we're gonna have to work with property owners during this as well, because, so for our acreage, we went from the edge of road to the right of way, which is 33 foot, so we assumed 11-foot lane, so from 11 foot to 33 foot on either one side of the road or both, depending on if there's a field, what have you. But that's how we came up with the acreage, and prior to them doing it, we're gonna have to kind of stake out all the clearing and grubbing limits, because say if there's a fence at 30 foot, well, okay, does it make sense just to go to, instead of working with this property owner to remove this fence for an extra 3 foot of width, does it make sense to just go to this fence? But there's gonna also be areas where the fence is near the road where we're gonna have to work with that property owner to, okay, can we move this fence back, cause we're clearing trees and. So there's gonna be a lot of.
Well, one thing I
coordination.
would like, or I don't know if that's more up to the individual, if we award the contract is. If there's a fence that needs replaced, removed, or possibly could get damaged during this,
Mhm.
it needs to be back to light condition. Because I've seen some of those fences that they can look pretty shabby and they can't expect, oh, you damaged my fence, I want a brand new fence.
No, they expect it though.
Well, and
Some of
that's,
them.
that's a good point, cause I can honestly, or I could have our staff go, once we start staking these limits.
Right,
I'll
to
take
photograph,
pictures,
you know,
yes.
Yeah,
photograph.
yeah,
these
pictures.
so
Because
they
if your
can't say,
fence is down
"Oh,
already,
you know, if the wires are down or broken and all that kind of stuff and they're wires growing into trees and all that,
Mhm,
they can't expect the county to put a brand new fence in and all that kind of stuff.
For
You
sure,
know, that's where I just would like to have that
Mhm.
precaution if we could.
absolutely.
and then the second question, if it's in our right of way, it's not really our responsibility to move any fences, right?
No, it's,
I
If
mean,
it's not-
obviously you wanna be a good neighbor and be like, hey, you need to move, this needs to back up because we're clearing these trees out and that, you don't want cattle out and whatever, but.
yeah, 'cause I feel like it's gonna be a lot of working with residents on those fences that are questionable. So it's right along the edge of the road, well, just like we've had in the past, that's an
Yeah.
immediate hazard, okay, yeah, we can go remove that. Like to not go down that road, of course, but
Right,
it's the fence that's in the gray area. That's gonna be like just a lot of coordination.
Yep, so,
So we recommend, I guess, to award all four roads, which are 389th Street, Mill Creek Road, 150th Street, also known as E17, and 475th to Weezerek. I think Todd always mispronounced that before, but Weezerek Timber Company out of Dubuque.
Make that motion.
I'll second that.
motion a second to award the contract to Weezer Timber Company as presented for the tree clearing, brush clearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried.
Next is an entrance permit for, I'll probably butcher this, Lawn Spot Preferred Properties. Are out of Piasta, they bought some ground off of 30th Avenue, north of between the Emma line area, North Baldwin. Existing driveway was there already, but he wants to build like a cabin on it and stuff and get powered, so. We did our site distance, approaching from the north was, guess I should step back, do you want me to say what township and stuff, township and section number?
We have it here.
Okay. So we went out and did the site distance, approaching from the north was 500 feet, south was 300 feet, so. It's gonna recommend a hidden driveway sign from the south. I informed him that that's per the policy, that's at his cost, he was okay with that for the installation of a hidden driveway sign. But I guess no culverts required also, cause it's at a high spot on the road, so. Pretty straightforward, I guess, this entrance permit, so recommend approving entrance permit for lawn spot preferred properties.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the entrance permit for Lawn Spot Preferred Properties LLC as presented in Brandon, section 32. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All right, not on the agenda, but Todd wanted me just to mention to you guys, so back earlier this summer, City of Macocota reached out to us to look at that they had a 2017 study done for safety improvements to the Main and Summit Street intersection, and they asked us if we'd be willing to help put together some exhibits for them to apply for a TSIP award, which is the same funding source that our destination lights are coming from, because they award it to counties and cities. So they had a list of, from their 2017 safety study, they had a list of options that they would like investigated. So we came up with those options for them, and out of the ones that they were going to apply for, they chose what I gave to you is to basically kind of widen the radiuses of all four quadrants of the intersection, improve the curb ramps, basically sidewalks for that matter, and lower some retaining walls for sight distance to achieve larger sight distance at that intersection. So we did that. they submitted for the T-SIP and they actually found out that they were awarded some money, just like we were for Destination Lights. They were also awarded T-SIP funds for that option there. So what since we kind of got the legwork started, they reached out to us to ask if we'd be interested in basically taking it across the finish line, creating the plans, specs and bid items and all that, so that way they can go bid out for it. They would compensate us, of course, so. Where we're at with is I'm gonna come up with an estimate of hours, what it would take me to finish everything, to get it to that finish line, and Todd said we'd probably work out a memorandum of understanding for that rather than a 28E, since it's just a short-term, one-time thing. So.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, you know, again, as long as you're being compensated for your time, you know, I mean, we've got that set, pretty much set where we're playing our assistant in Buchanan County. And I don't think it's any different. I mean, we're good neighbors and we can help them out. We certainly would work with them.
I guess, are they gonna want you to go as far as being like the on-site inspector during construction, or is
That'll
that
be-
something Frank can handle?
I'm gonna hope that's something that I would talk to Josh on that, because for what we're gonna do now is just the design part, because. Yeah, I don't know if we would have the capacity for construction inspection, you know, this on services for that. I don't.
I mean, it's a timing issue, of course, of what we got going on, I would think, and what they would have
Right.
going on at the same time, but
Yeah, because
it's gonna continue to be a four-way stop, I take it.
yes, you know, so there was other options that they looked, like, they looked at, and one of the options was to. Like buy the Bowman gas station property. And to try to put a turn lane in on what would be the Summit, right? What's north south Summit?
East somewhere, yeah.
North or south of Maine.
North south is Main, to put as you're approaching from the south, so coming north to the intersection, put like a turn lane in there. But that would involve buying property, and with the gas station, there's probably some soil remediation that would have to be done. So long story short, this was the option that they pursued and got awarded for. So just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on. So you're not in the
You
dark.
don't
I
need
guess,
any
but-
action on that to proceed, right? I mean,
No, just
I mean,
kind
you
of-
guys gotta know in your office if you've got the time and the manpower to do it. So I would say at this time of the year, you probably could, yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any objections or comments?
I think it's being good neighbors again.
Let us know what it looks in, what it looks like, how much it'll cost, so we have for it.
Okay,
We certainly wanna work together.
See, I don't know if you want this is right from the DOT's website, but it's just all the awarded from that T-SIP program, all the awarded projects, which you got two
You're talking to other counties and stuff too, or you're talking?
counties and
local, or-
states. It's that fund or
Okay.
that grant is.
So the two you have highlighted is just the two that are awarded locally here.
Yep. So you know, it's not like the list is that long, so, I don't know, it's.
Pretty good to get through them.
Mhm. So,
Yeah, a little over almost $7.5 million worth of stuff going on there.
but
Appreciate it, the info, and yeah, I think you can follow through with that.
alrighty, that's all I have.
Cool, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jason. Jason, have a good week.
You can give those to Mike, he'll sign it for you.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, are there any visitors or citizens that would like to address the board this morning? Seeing or hearing none. We have been joined by Nathan Jones, our Jackson County Conservation Director.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you guys too. Doesn't feel like the holidays.
That's all right.
It feels great outside.
I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
it was kind of gloomy, but it's all good. Little needed rain.
Other than, we do need the rain.
It was a nice slow rain, so I think some of that sunk in.
Yeah.
Rain probably slowed down Spruce Creek a little bit.
Actually, I was up there Sunday.
He's moving a little faster than he did last year.
Yeah, he's around the corner there. You know, there ain't quite as big a pile
Is he in the
there.
final straightaway yet, or is it kind of that?
He's about to it. Cause we have a section there we're leaving with metal. Items already drove, so he's right in there, ready to
Okay.
turn, so.
So is that going to be an extension or what's happening there?
Well, we had to give them those 70 days on
Yeah.
top, and then we gave him an extension for the days flood shortened it, so he has some time yet,
Okay,
so.
well, you know, hopefully that the weather holds out for him and,
Yeah.
The
we're-
finish stuff looks good, so.
Yeah, everything he's actually completed looks really good in my opinion,
Yeah.
so just getting it to that stage.
yeah,
So,
and so he's got till spring.
I don't
season.
have the date on me, he has a little
He
while,
has till spring season. that's
yeah,
all.
pretty much.
Well, right now, other than the rain kind of made it soft, a little
Yeah.
wet, moist right now. I mean, he's got decent weather, it looks like, so.
Yeah, the wind will
Yeah.
come up a little bit.
They were working in the rain Friday, so it didn't seem to be bothering them that much, it's just moving their equipment around, I'm sure it's not easy now that it's
You
sloppy.
just don't want to get off on that bank.
No, no. So, yeah, that project's kind of going, I guess we'll kind of give you an update, board meeting last week. The board set our upcoming year's cost for camping. And expenditures for like rental of our pavilion, shelters. And the center, they decided to leave those all the same, the former board meeting, they had raised the cost of docks. By $50 per dock rental. They just kind of, I think the discussion on the other things, the camping and everything was, we're above the state average right now. And partly we're above the state average because our costs are higher for electrical and our utilities on those campgrounds, so that's why. But for now, they just wanted to just keep us in that kind of close margin to where we were with everybody else across the state and kind of conservation system. Still providing the opportunity for anybody to be able to camp in their campgrounds. So that was our main thing discussed at the last board meeting, was those costs and where we're gonna go. And then another thing, just so you guys have a heads up, where we're on fundraising for the new display at the center. We're at about $120,000 raised so far. I know a few weeks ago that the girls and Friends Conservation, a bunch of them came in and they did mailings to every business they could find and on like list through the Chamber of Commerce's in each town in the county and mailed out asking for fundraisers on that. I think it's the first time we've actually ever done that. So we don't know, some of the businesses, I wondered if they were in business or not, but if you hear about it, we were just trying to reach out, connect with everybody we could. If you know somebody that didn't
I
receive.
seen the promotion I got in the mail, that display looks like quite a display.
Yeah, I think it'll be something that'll be good for learning and it's gonna draw people to the center once we get it done, but. It is quite a display, it costs a lot more than I expected.
Sure, well, everything costs.
Yep, so, yeah, that's the way things are. So those were kind of our main things. Some follow-up, I have been in contact with a core, I shouldn't probably say his name. The lead on the stuff for Spruce.
Mhm.
It's been a back and forth on emails, now he wants me to call him and it's been phone tag for 2 weeks and I haven't been able to touch base with him on the phone. So I don't know if I'm getting anywhere or not on that. I threw another one in there because we're in violation at Duck Creek because the flood last spring brought in a bunch of wood and debris on the bank below Duck Creek there south of Bellevue. We don't have access to that park anymore where the railroad built up the tracks there, so I'm trying to get that removed from our lease also if I can. Gore can have it and have that public park still for fishing, but.
Good.
So that's where I'm at on that one. I guess you guys have any questions for me?
Oh, you're still advertising for a naturalist, is that correct? Is that what?
Yeah, it closed Friday. I was gonna go to Becky's office after this. It sounded like she had applicants for that, so. Last Wednesday was Jen's last day, so. That closed Friday. We'll probably do interviews in the next few weeks in or sometime early January. I'm thinking February, beginning of February, we'll start that position and we'll see where we're at. If we have a good we feel like
Sure.
there's somebody we wanna hire there out of that.
Well, we hope that works out and it's an opportunity for someone to.
Yep, so, other than that, it's been writing plans for the Prairie Creek thing there, for their 60% plan, they want us to have a prairie plan on books, they want us to have all this stuff, so. That's been some of my stuff lately, is
You're talking the Destination
Paperwork.
Iowa stuff, is that, yeah?
this is the water quality portion of it for the
Okay.
DNR, so, They want a bunch of that.
Well, that's all process, you know, and hopefully that works out too, you know, that'll be a big draw, the way it sounds.
Yeah, if we can get something going there, it's gonna help the area, I would think, so that's
You know,
kind
a
of
little
it.
improvement all along here, you know, if we can get some whitewater rafting someday or something like that, tubing maybe or something and try
Yeah,
to keep it improving. I still like the whole idea of the cabin stuff, it's just a funding thing, you know.
Yep, finding funding and figure out what we can do to help the community and draw that. Build that park in that area, so, yeah. I haven't talked to the next person on your agenda, but my understanding she's wanting off our board. She hasn't told me that, she's told other of my staff. So that's something I guess you guys will probably be hearing about us here soon. I don't know if you've had any applicants or not coming in on that too. So,
I don't know that we've even advertised, it, have
We
we?
haven't advertised it.
I don't
but
think we've been formally
okay,
told.
We've had one already?
We have one, even dropped off an application, but that's before I knew anything about it.
But we still have to put it out there.
yep,
Yeah.
it'll be put out there. So that's something, just a heads up. as it's
appreciate
coming. So that's all I have for you guys.
Hey, we appreciate the update, Nathan, and while you're getting done there and.
You want me to go grab Lori?
It's coming in by Zoom.
We'll holler.
Oh, is she
I don't
gonna?
think she's
She'll come.
here.
Okay,
You wanna stay for a portion? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Have a happy new year.
You too.
So at this point, Lisa,
This morning, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the December 19th, 2023 board proceedings as written by Auditor Smith and authorize publication in the official newspapers.
So moved.
Second.
motion second to approve the minutes of December 9th, 2023 board proceeding as written. All those favors say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carried.
Motion needed to approve a handwritten warrant to card member service for $1,293.28 for a claim which is voided in error.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second to approve a handwritten warrant to card member services for $1,293.28 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carried.
That's all that I have for the board today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luann? Are you available?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Calendar for this week is gonna be pretty short. The next time I have something on the calendar after today, and today, just so everyone knows, the court and state offices are closed for sure. I don't know what other county offices might be closed, but state and court offices were closed by the governor, so. On Thursday, December 28th at noon is a Bellevue Leadership Committee by Zoom for Mike. And she's questioning about. On Monday, next Monday, January 1st, the entire courthouse will be closed. Our next meeting will be on Tuesday, January 2nd at 9 a.m. The only other bit of business I think we have today is to formalize the supervisor appointment to the Together We Build board. I think it's been
Okay.
discussed and talked about. It hasn't been.
So, I mean, we have discussed.
We just need to make a,
Need to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that Don is the representative for the Together We Building Board.
Can I second it?
Do I have to, vacate the chair? I'll vacate the chair at this point and, second that motion. So I have a motion and a second to appoint Don as the supervisor representative, for Together We Build board. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Now we'll reclaim the board chair at this time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Luann, and happy new year to you and yours also. And now we are joined by Lori Rowling, our zoning administrator for a department update. Good morning.
Hey, guys,
Morning.
and guys, it's all good, right?
Guys,
All good.
all good?
Okay. I'll be easy peasy today, but next week, not so much. So, Today is just to ask for, you guys received the email on the Green Island property that's asking for an extension for their cleanup. With pictures.
Yeah, well, I seen the pictures and there was some maybe moving of stuff.
There's been some effort. Minimal at best, but. And then two, it's in such disarray that. Even moving some stuff you may not notice because of the volume.
Well, obviously, there needs to be an effort there, and it's been brought up, that maybe do you as your department, as department head in your department, can you make these decisions as far as extensions go? Or,
I think our ordinance is set up for you guys to do it.
okay.
Unless I suppose if you guys would, let me look to see if there's a way.
Well,
And your
I
discretion.
guess,
Consistent, you know, it's a key, and if you can look at it and say, obviously, this one, they're making an effort, it's because. You know, we're showing progress, you know, I have faith that you can make that determination
Thank you.
at 30 days at a time. If there's one in question or you are failing to see progress, then you can bring that, I mean, I don't wanna just keep wasting.
no, I mean, it's gonna come on your recommendation anyways. Well, my
Yeah.
point is, it's coming on your department, you're following up with it, you're making the site visits. We're gonna go on your recommendation, you know, unless things, again, we get to the point where we have to abate or something to that effect, then we certainly want to be involved.
Okay,
But if there's a route that will save you both will save us both some time and effort,
okay.
I don't think there's any question here, but,
Okay.
again, we've seen some progress there. So, what does everybody think about the extension?
We'll make a motion to approve a extension to the end of January.
Okay.
Understanding that progress needs to be visible.
Okay.
You know, and we certainly know that
Pardon?
Do I have a name or an address?
Yes, Garrett property on Green Island Road, Cynthia Garrett.
so again, I mean, we know that
I'll give you the address.
yeah. The weather is going to play a factor, but again, some of this is, minimal.
Are we talking January 31st?
Yes.
49184.
Thank you.
49184. Green Island.
So the ones that are up for next week that have come in, you just want me to make decisions on those then? And keep you guys apprised?
I would say as long as we're within the scope of the law or the code.
Yep.
You know, like you say, you're gonna investigate whether you can do that, yeah.
Yep. There, I may have one come across to you guys just because his attorney's
You
involved.
send us the information and if you need to bring it forward, then certainly bring
Yeah,
it
if you
forward.
feel you need to bring it forward, then.
But as far
yeah,
as,
we'll leave it.
you know, if the code says that your department can go ahead as a department head and decide about these violations, extensions, and
Okay,
you see improvement, yeah, I don't think.
Okay. all right. And actually, now that more I think about it, it's more you guys have to approve if they want to appeal that it's actually a violation. So
Well,
that's where you guys really come into play.
just check it
But
out.
I think it's just been policy that you guys wanted to do the extensions. So, all right. Or a procedure rather, not
Mhm.
policy. So anyway, that's it. But next week, I'll spend more time with you.
All right,
Thanks for
Maybe.
the warning.
It's a promise.
happy holidays.
Happy
Yeah.
New Year.
Have a good one, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So you have what you needed, Lisa. Thank you. Hey, Mary.
Okay, Lisa, do we know if Jeremy or John were coming today? I know they're kind of always on the agenda, but we're not really sure whether they're. Let's just
Been here
take
for the
a,
last 2 weeks.
yeah, let's just
Yeah.
take a recess for a minute here. So we will reconvene at this time, our meeting, and is there any other business before the board this morning? Hearing none,
Take a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carried, and as a board, all of our board, we wish you a very happy and safe new year. So.
Good.
Have a good one.